when we are tense, they'll go to sleep, their neck and shoulders will get very tight. In addition to that, their jaws will get tight and they'll wake up finding that they're clenching their jaw. When a muscle is clamped down like that for so long and just strained and just very tight and very activated, then it can cause strains. Not only that, it can affect other muscles around the area and it can develop this thing called trigger points. How's it going, guys? Miguel here with CFS Recovery. This video, I want to talk about something very specific. It can lead to a lot of weird symptoms. It can lead to a lot of pain, headaches, things like that. But I'm going to be talking about temporomandibular joint dysfunction, aka TMJ, aka a very tight jaw from jaw clenching. So let's back up a little bit. If you're somebody who struggles with CFS, then I know how stressful this illness can be. You're dealing with a lot of stuff, not just physical, but mental, emotional. You kind of lose your identity because a lot of stuff that you used to be able to do, well, you can't do it anymore. Maybe you're off of work. Maybe you have to say no every time your friends ask to hang out. Maybe you're not even able to go for a walk in the park. Or maybe you just get overwhelmed very easily and your whole body tenses up. What you have to understand is that when you get stressed, it is natural for the muscles to tense up. When you are stressed, you have adrenaline and cortisol running through your body. So essentially, your body is getting ready to fight or fly or run away, essentially, or freeze, right? Everything just gets very tense, especially with the adrenaline. You're ready to just book it, right? Or fight something off. And so what happens when your muscles get tense, it's not just your big muscles that are meant for fighting, like your biceps and your forearms for punching and your calves and your quads and your glutes to run. It's almost every muscle in your body. And a lot of people don't realize we actually have a lot of muscles in our face. More specifically, our jaw area. Think of how much we chew, how much we talk, how much we use this muscle on a daily basis. Every time we chew, every time we bite, every time we clamp down, we are using these muscles and it can produce hundreds of pounds of force. Now, when we are tense, a lot of times we don't even realize it. And this happens a lot to people, especially when they're sleeping. They'll go to sleep, their neck and shoulders will get very tight. In addition to that, their jaws will get tight and they'll wake up finding that they're clenching their jaw. And so what happens is you get temporomandibular joint dysfunction. Now, this is a term I learned back in my personal training days when I learned a lot of anatomy and how the muscles work. But when a muscle is clamped down like that for so long and just strained and just very tight and very activated, then it can cause strains. Not only that, it can affect other muscles around the area and it can develop this thing called trigger points. So this is getting a little more specific. I want to keep it very broad here, but essentially when you clench down with your muscles here, your masseters and all the muscles around the jaw, sometimes you can actually feel tension go up to about here around the temples or just above and in front of the temples. And from there, if you get tight knots around there or you strain muscles around here, it kind of spreads to your whole head. Now, when there's tension in the whole head, your whole body essentially starts to feel very tense because it just radiates, right? We call that radiating pain. And so back when I was in really bad shape, I would wake up in the middle of the night and my jaws would be super, super tight. In fact, I've been to dentists in the past couple of years and they said that I shaved down a lot of my teeth just because I would clench down. For that short 2 to 3 year period of time, I would just grind my teeth. And I remember when I was in a lot of pain and would feel burning sensations and I'd get panic attacks, I would grind my teeth really bad because I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't move, couldn't squeeze anything, but I could grind my teeth. But that led to a lot of TMJ. And so it becomes this vicious cycle where because you're so stressed, you start to clench your muscles. That in itself is very draining, but it can also lead to some actual headaches. So, a lot of the headaches can be internal from the pain centers in your brain just flaring up. And I made a video about that right up here. So you could go watch more about how chronic pain works. But on the other hand, there can be actual physical pain happening in your body. So there's some people in the program, they get lots of tension headaches. And so a good thing you could do is just, massage the muscles around the jaw if you find you're clenching. And there are going to be certain parts where you press, and usually it's like right behind the jaw or just in front of the ear. There's going to be really tender spots there. Just roll your fingers around there. And if you find these spots that are very, very tender, that's a pretty good indicator that you have been clenching your jaw quite a bit. And so you might be asking, what's the solution to something like this? Well, one, the long-term solution is to get the nervous system, functioning normally again, shift more into parasympathetic versus sympathetic so your muscles aren't always tense, even subconsciously. And that's more of the long-term fix. You're not gonna feel immediate relief from that, but what you could do, number two, is actually get a night guard. I used to use this, and technically I should still be using it, but mine kind of broke. I need to get another one, but it's a night guard. So it's like basically a piece of rubber, almost like a mouth guard that you put in your mouth when you're sleeping. So that way, when you do grind, it's not teeth on teeth, and there's some cushion. So it's not as jarring, it's not as aggressive. You don't grind your teeth down, and there's different levels of this. If you find you're grinding really, really hard, you'd want a thicker night guard. If you find you're grinding a little bit, then you don't need something too thick. You just need a kind of small layer there to protect the teeth from clashing against each other. The third thing you can do is kind of like I said, simply massaging your masseter muscles and the muscles around your jaw. And I also found up here, when I was clenching my jaws, I would find these weird like muscle bumps almost in my temple, that if I massaged them and pressed them, they would also radiate around my head. And that's how I knew I was pressing on those right spots. And so this helped a lot with any kind of tension headaches I had. It had to be like a two-pronged approach, especially with the headaches, because it was happening internally from the chronic pain. Like I said, there's a video up here that can also help you get rid of a lot of chronic pain. But a lot of it was the physical muscles around my face just being very, very tense. A way that the dentist knew that I was grinding my teeth like crazy was if you actually look in the mirror and you glide your teeth side by side, like that, it's almost like a perfect jigsaw puzzle where my teeth glide past each other. These are supposed to be canines, these are supposed to be sharp, and that's kind of how I knew, yeah, I really grinded my teeth down. So that's just something to keep in mind. That could be adding to some of the headaches you have. It's a very physical thing, like actually happening in the muscle. So that happens quite a bit and we don't realize it. Most of the time it happens in our sleep. And we don't realize it. So that's where a mouth guard comes in handy. But I just want to put this video out there that could kind of explain why you might be feeling, more severe headaches than usual. Because also when we're more stressed, we tend to clench more and tense our muscles. So that's going to add to a lot of the tension around this area. And this leads to tension around here, which leads to tension around your head, which kind of works its way down your body. So if you learned something from this video, if you got some value out of this, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And like I mentioned, I added some cards in this video for other videos where I break down how chronic pain works and how you can fix that if you are feeling a lot of chronic pain, especially headaches, things like that. Make sure to go watch those very short, simple videos. Comment down below if this video helps. I love making these videos for you guys just to help you kind of get out of the situation that I was stuck in not too long ago. So I'm just a few steps ahead of you guys, and I want to give you guys, tools and knowledge that will help you get out of this thing so that one day you can look back and at some point when you do recover, it's likely that this will just feel like a bad dream. So as always, remember, you are just one mind shift away from living a life with thriving health. I'll see you in the next video.